these two saved icons on Fenn's desktop, supposedly, caldera rim toilet, and the second one was Secret Valley Creek. I went and looked them up. First of all, let's think about what the caldera is. There are different calderas in Yellowstone. They're caused by volcanic eruptions in the past. They go way back in time. The most recent caldera, and the one I've got a picture of where you can actually see the ridge line, is from, well, let's just read it. The third and most recent supervolcano eruption to occur within the present-day park boundary happened about 640,000 years ago. The resulting caldera, which is outlined on the official park map and our interactive map, is visible from the road near the Madison Junction. The caldera rim is expressed as a ridge that parallels the river to the south of the Madison. This supervolcano eruption was unlike anything recorded in modern human history. Think of cataclysmic destruction, the stuff sci-fi movies are made of. And from this eruption would spread ash from this eruption would spread across the earth and other global weather patterns, and of course, all nearby life would have been destroyed. However, we caution visitors, and then they go on to say, don't worry that, if you come to Yellowstone, there's going to be a volcanic eruption. They can't say that. There could be. Volcanoes are, even dormant ones are dynamic, and you never know what's going to happen. And Yellowstone is not dormant. I mean, it's an active... There is seismic activity going on around Yellowstone by anyone's definition. I know they want to keep the tourism up, they want to keep the business going, but let's not fool ourselves. Things can happen quickly, and it can be a matter of a few weeks, and suddenly I think you're saying, uh-oh, something's happened with the magma. It's pushing up, or it's starting to escalate in its heating and its expansion. Because you don't know, because volcanoes can be like that. So here we have a map that I was able to get, and you can see, now again, this puts us in Wyoming. And this puts us in Yellowstone. And we're not supposed to be finding the treasure in Yellowstone, right? So again, we're all wondering, how is Jack Stoof getting away with this legally? And of course, we also know that it's time for taxes. And we also know that when you find something like a treasure, and I didn't know this until this last year, that you don't wait until you sell the treasure online or something before you ask for taxes or you pay your taxes. You don't wait until you sell the treasure or get rid of it and then you declare your taxes. No, when you get possession of that treasure, that's when you pay taxes. So everyone's kind of assuming Jack's going to have to pay taxes this year coming up for finding the treasure in 2020. If he found it in Yellowstone, is that causing him problems that we don't know about? I don't know. I'm not a tax expert, but people have told me the IRS definitely. And I know I've said this many, many times, I just can't believe the IRS doesn't know what's going on with Jack or will not be soon made aware of it. I guess obviously maybe it would be a situation where if Jack, it was announced the treasure was sold, then the IRS, if they didn't have any record of that, would talk to him. I don't know. I shouldn't even speculate on that because I don't know. But here again is this map, this satellite picture of this area near Gibbons Falls, Secret Valley Creek, and the Caldera Rim. Someone else, somewhere online, had speculated about the treasure being here. And as far as the Caldera Rim toilet goes, that is not a landmark that I'm aware of. It's not used it's not anything I'm aware of as far as a name of anything. So I can only speculate maybe it's an actual toilet or it has to do with a facility. Not, not talking about House of Brown necessarily. Remember that? The first time I ever heard that, I was blown away that early on in the search for Fenn's treasure, Fenn had to tell people the home of Brown is not an outhouse. It's like, ooh. But that's true. He actually did have to come out and save people because apparently they were turning over outhouses and, looking around toilets in home of Brown. Wow. So what else do I have? Secret Valley Creek is nothing special. It's a creek. It's on this map. You can see it. I don't really have much further to go with this because you heard the text again. I'll read it again because it is to me such a kind of a mind-blowing concept that Jack Stoof, maybe when he was first aware, Jack Stoof, maybe when he first contacted Fenn, remember we learned, well, that's another interesting thing. Remember that? Fenn said he had not been contacted by Jack Stoof, and I think Jack Stoof said he had emailed Fenn and he had called him. Remember he said one time he had called, isn't that right? He had called Fenn, and then Fenn later said he didn't remember being called. And Jack Stoof was kind of surprised, or maybe it was other people that had been surprised because they said, well, Jack Stoof was really close to the area. Also keeping in mind there supposedly was a fake blaze someone had made 1,000 feet from where the treasure was found. This thing is so odd. So, I mean, did Jack Stoof send early on, maybe in 2018, Forrest Fenn an email and have something in it? And Fenn opened it and Jack suddenly had access to Forrest Fenn's computer and watched that computer over time. And when he found enough on the computer, watching his searches, Fenn's searches I'm talking about, and seeing these two saved places on his desktop. The first one being the Caldera Rim Toilet, the second one, Secret Valley Creek in Wyoming, in Yellowstone. Was that enough to guide Jack Stoof to the area? And it took him 25 times to actually find the treasure because he was able to figure out the general location. I don't know. It's a real interesting situation we find ourselves in. I know some of you are going, Eric, I thought you said the chase is over. I've said it over. Oh, I want to say something. Recently, I guess, I don't know, I think I know what went on, but to me it was so insignificant. But K-Pro and Mike talked about my channel on their page, on their Calazar page. And they were responding to something they'd heard. It's no big deal at all. It's very insignificant. But they kind of discussed my channel. And in the course of discussing my channel, I thought they were pretty cool about it. K-Pro said she wasn't really aware of things like what IIWII stands for. And she also, in the same, when she was talking about it, she said, well, she had become aware of the fact that I had gotten into politics. And some people don't like my politics, and I don't really care. So she said, this is K-Pro speaking, she said something to the effect of, politics don't really mix with, Forrest Fenn or other things, because then it's, it's the old adage, right? Politics and religion, be careful when you talk about them. My page is not about only Forrest Fenn. I've said that before and I'll say it again. And to his credit, Mike was pretty cool. He goes, well, IIWII, he said it stands for it is what it is. He's kind of like, it's not necessarily Forrest Fenn. No, it's never been Forrest Fenn channel. It's never going to be a Forrest Fenn channel. I was out on the Forrest Fenn chase. I have plenty of Forrest Fenn videos. A lot of you have watched them. A lot of you like them, which is pretty cool that people like them. But I'm going to discuss all sorts of things besides Forrest Fenn. Now, as far as me, so obviously that's just kind of my refrain to what K-Pro was saying. She might think I have a Forrest Fenn channel, and that she's kind of saying, bring politics into it. You're going to make enemies. And that would be great advice if it was in fact just a Forrest Fenn channel, but it's not. So it's just going to. The group of people that I have hanging on to my channel, or I mean that haven't dropped, I've lost a lot of subscribers when I got into the politics thing. And then I gained a number. So I've lost more than I've gained, of course, but I'm suddenly kind of slowly seeming to gain people that kind of are, wow, this guy's politics. In some cases, people actually do agree with my politics. And they're able to kind of chew gum and walk at the same time. And okay, sometimes it's Forrest Fenn, sometimes it's politics. I would love to talk about things like the Dyatlov Pass incident in Russia that I just think is still fascinating. There's so many interesting things out there. And I've talked about that before, and I'm sure some of you are going, yeah, I wish you'd get into that kind of stuff. Colorado Searcher is it Colorado Searcher? Yeah, she's the one. Because she goes by a different name when she emails me. Yeah. She's always sending me stuff about the paranormal and stuff, and some of it I find very interesting too. I had definitely a paranormal, not a bad thing. It was just one of those things that happened to me very early in life. It kind of woke me up to the fact that there's something going on out there. There's other stuff going on, and I might talk about it sometime. But after that happened, I was always like, there is definitely stuff going on in the world that we can't always see. And then it becomes apparent. It can be quite terrifying. In my particular case, not terrifying, but because what happened was, this is clumsy. It wasn't terrifying in the sense of me seeing something terrifying. It was terrifying to realize when you're confronted, this is the easiest way I can put it, when you're confronted with things in real life that you know cannot exist in real time, and you're awake, it stuns you because you're suddenly going, I just saw something that can't happen, but it happened. And in my particular case, it not only happened, it was verified. It is really something I should talk about. It was verified the next day by a third party that something happened that caused what I saw to probably happen. And that was, whew, it still gives me a little chill because it's like there's a whole nother world out. There's other dimensions out there. I guess that's the easiest way to put it. That was the big lesson I learned from that experience. Is there are other dimensions out there. There are things happening. There are things happening that we can't see, and suddenly we can see them, and it's upsetting to your senses. So again, folks, that's all I've got for you, though. This text message that Jack Stoof may have used a rat virus to see what Forrest Fenn was doing on his computer and possibly figure out the location from this rat virus. I wish I could tell you more. I have not been given any more information. I was not giving a source for this information. And I realize some of you are going to say, this isn't really fair to Jack Stoof. He's a public figure now. I feel this is not some sort of stunt to get subscribers. I think all of you realize now with the way I operate, subscribers is not my, I'm not trying to get subscribers. I'm not trying to make any money off doing this. Never asked for a cent. Never asked for Patreon or any of that kind of stuff. It's just not my bag. It's just information I was given, and I think it's extremely interesting information. And the way he wrote it, I discovered that Jack sent Fenn a file via email, which was actually a rat virus, which included a key logger program that allowed Stoof to see Forrest Fenn's internet history along with anything typed on his keyboard. Forrest had 2 saved locations on his desktop. First one was Caldera Rim Toilet in Wyoming, and the second one was Secret Creek. The Caldera Rim is viewable. You can see it when you're in Yellowstone. I do not know what the toilet refers to, unless it refers somehow to a real toilet. I think I've got a picture up here of the Caldera picnic area, which I'm sure has a toilet. And it's not far from Secret Valley Creek. Both of these places are in Wyoming. They're in Yellowstone. I think it's absolutely fascinating. Folks, that's all I've got for you. I'd give you more if I had more information, but I don't. And I'll be sitting and waiting for Jack Stoof's lawyer to call me. And no, I'm just kidding. Or maybe I'm not. Wouldn't it be interesting to be sued by Jack Stoof, though? Because then you could hopefully really get some information once we all get into the court. Just keep waiting for that treasure to be sold, or wait for someone to come out that knows Stoof, that gives us some, some behind the scenes information about what is going on. Is it just as simple as what Jack Stoof has told us so far? I'm not so sure now. But Eric, you said it's over. It is over. I should say this before I go too. All of the stuff about people solves. You have no idea how many people send me their solves. Now it's petered way off. But for a long time it was going on a lot. And people would send me, tell me what you think about the solve. Tell me what you think about the solve. Everyone was doing this to each other after the treasure was found. I couldn't understand it. And that's kind of what I was trying to say. It's over. Get over it. But I always said, and I still say, that as far as the fallout from the find goes, I'm never going to stop viewing that and looking for that information. People like Barb Anderson out there. I'll say one more thing before I go. My advisor, he likes Barb Anderson's approach. He thinks I'm kind of speaking out of place. I shouldn't say this. I think he thinks she's sometimes a little reckless the way she does things, but he says, she's always thinking ahead about stuff. And he said right now she's kind of changing the goalpost with the courts to get her deadlines changed for when she can, I guess, abridge or change her motions or whatever. I don't really know how all that stuff goes. But he says she definitely, there's a method to the madness, is the way I like to put it. So always keeping our eye on Barb Anderson and what she's up to. I was going to put, by the way, if she watched this, I was going to put up a picture of Barb with hearts around it. But I might be able to do it. I think I found the software where I can do it. I want it to look good. So if I can do that, I'll put a picture up of Barb with hearts around it. She'll understand what I'm talking about. A few of you will understand what I'm talking about by doing that. That's all I got for you, folks. Stuff coming up in the future. This crazy country we're living in now. Don't be fooled. Don't get fooled again, even though we have been fooled again. Forrest Fenn fallout remains happening, and lots of unusual things out there in the world that need to be explained. Did you see a Harvard physicist has come out now with a book recently? I'm kind of in this. I don't know if you guys remember this. In 2017, this big object went by Earth. They called it some bizarre name like Uamabuba. I'm not making that up. It's a real strange name, like they named it Umabuba. And it was this huge object, and it went by, it missed the Earth. And they determined that there were unusual characteristics about its flight path. And this guy has come out, a Harvard physicist, and said unequivocally that the flight path it's on is artificial, that it is not a normal trajectory for a normal object in outer space, and that he has no doubt it was the remnants of an artificial object that came from somewhere else in the universe or the galaxy. So that's a new book that's come out. What's the name of the book, Eric? The name of the book, which I might get it on Kindle. It's called Extraterrestrial. Yay! I'll put the title. I remembered something. I'll put the title on here so you can see it if you want to order it. Extraterrestrial. By Avi Loeb. I remember the author's name. Avi, A-V-I, Loeb, L-O-E-B. He's a Harvard-trained physicist. Very, very smart guy. He says an artificial object very recently passed Earth. And I guess if you read the book, he'll prove it to you. Everyone have a good time? Exciting time to live in? I'm having a good time. And see y'all later. Bye.